So you've got an interesting story about one of the more famous slogans. Why don't you tell us about that story?
I think I know the one that you're talking about. So this is during my work career. It's about 1983 or 84, and I worked for the state health department, and they decided they wanted to do a wellness, and some people might remember this discussion around well, why do we always talk about disease? It's kind of a negative thing. Why don't we talk about wellness, how to promote good health and get an ethic around that. And so as a state public health agency, somebody decided, well, we would be we could do our own sort of laboratory and kind of create a paradigm around that. So each of the offices in the department sent a representative, and I was the representative from the environmental health field to this committee to kind of come up with a wellness plan. And one of the first things they did was, well, we need a slogan for the committee. So so there was an open period for people to submit slogans. So meanwhile, in my life, I was at this time I had two young children, under 6, and working full time, and life was just kind of getting busy, and a lot of the things that I used to do for exercise, and there wasn't time, for my leisure events, but I knew there was time, but I was just getting kind of losing the angle of kind of getting around to doing those beneficial things. So when the idea of the slogan came up, for me it was really personal. I was kind of talking to myself, and so I submitted the slogan of just do it. And again, I was speaking to myself in that term. Instead of thinking about it, just do it. And I remember the coordinator. He'd been hired. I'm assuming he's a health educator by profession. His name was Wade Patterson. And Wade's this tall, thin. Looks impeccably healthy. He's probably in his 50s or 60s, though, but a kind of a silver fox kind of guy, very energetic, very personable, very, very likable, very good choice for leading this kind of an effort. And he was a tall guy. He was about 6'3" or so. And I remember he goes, his eyes got real big, and he comes up to me and he goes, "Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that." His jowls were jiggling a little bit. "Oh, I like that." So that was the winning slogan for the club. Just do it. And I got, as a reward, I got a mug. It was a little blue Portland Youth Philharmonic mug. So it was kind of an odd prize. I think somebody, we got to have something, so they took it off some desk. A lot of people collected mugs on their desk from different conferences and things. So the prize was the Portland Philharmonic. And so that was the slogan. So, but it was, years later when, well, you probably recognize that. I think it recently got an award for the most famous branding of all time. So, that was before I realized you could, I understood you could copyright things. I didn't know you could copyright expressions. This whole new branding, marketing thing has evolved, that somebody else owns the right to every transconfiguration of words. I think that's not a creative environment, but it's good to get attribution. So my just do it I've got no remuneration for it, got no recognition for it, except in my little brief moment of time. Hopefully it inspired somebody to do it and improve their personal health. That's probably the high water mark of my the satisfaction that I'll get from it. But it's a true story.
So do you think that there's a connection between you having won this contest and it ending up in the mainstream? I mean, is there a link there?
Well, I could only speculate. I think Wade was he was he was in the fitness circles, and he lived in Beaverton, but it was years later, that night. So I think it could have been something that got dropped at a cocktail party. It's kind of catchy. Again, I probably used it several times as I was dealing with my own existential dilemma of gaining weight and not feeling as fit as I used to, that I just needed to do it, and everybody would sort of nod in agreement. So there's a natural quality to it, so it could have been dropped at any number of places along the line, as opposed to the sands of time have covered that over. I don't think we'll ever be able to answer that question.
But this was the Oregon State Health Department. This is in the hometown of where this slogan was supposedly invented.
And it was an in-house exercise at the time. I think Wade wasn't around for very long. I don't remember any more committee meetings. They started doing contests, running the stairs, and I think they put together a Hood to Coast run team and dragon boats, and we did a bunch of other things that may have been outcomes of a focus on activities, and we had a softball team. It could be that somebody was really inspired with that and was in the right circles to drop that. But again, even Wyden and Kennedy don't put forward an individual that created the saying. It came up as a committee project, and the committee got. Yeah. And they took it to upper management, and upper management said that's it, and then we're going with it, and the rest is history. So hard to know how these things.
Right.
But at least it's my version of it is true to my experience of it. So.
Yeah. So people would wonder why you didn't bring this up before. Why hasn't this been to the courts, and what? Tell us about your perspective.
Well, I didn't have any. I didn't copyright it or anything. I didn't have any proprietary claim to it. I couldn't prove that. So I mean, I didn't protect it. I guess I didn't realize. Yeah. Realized I knew it was good. I remember Wade. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Yeah. I'll never forget that moment. Oh, I like that. Jowl shake. Oh, I like that.
Okay, so just to be clear, you're not trying to make any claim on it. This is just your story, and I'm happy that it went to a good cause. That's great. All right. Well, thanks.
I would take if any Nike people. I'd be happy to go out for a free lunch. Maybe admission to the Nike store on occasion.
Yeah.